On the 7th night after my death, I watched my sister wearing my bedclothes, lying in my husband's bed. She even learned to gasp exactly like me. Brother-in-law. She had the same watery look in her eyes as I did, and her fingertips traced the silk sheets. Anything my sister can give you, I can give better. My husband, Caspar, cupped her chin and suddenly sneered the moment he almost kissed her. Unfortunately, your sister never called me brother-in-law, because she knows dash. The moment the blade was against her throat, a baby suddenly cried from outside the house. It was my son who was born just 3 days ago, but I was already dead. Ella had been pretending to be me for 7 days. She's been preparing for this moment for 2 years, drinking pills to change her voice, avoiding the sun to lighten her skin, practicing the angle of my frown. Her parents have pinned all their hopes on her, hoping she'll give the Sterling family an heir and settle their blood feud with Caspar. When Caspar pushed his way through the door, his battle armor still dusty from the northern winds, Ella trembled as she greeted him and undressed him. She didn't know how dangerous this man was, just as she didn't know that I had a poison dagger up my sleeve when I married on her behalf. He suddenly asked, "Change the incense." Ella answered in a panic. Caspar frowned and said he didn't like the strong odor, and she was secretly relieved, unrecognized. I floated in the air, watching his back as he walked toward the bath. 13 years of military service had honed him into the sharpest of swords, and he had never known tenderness in bed. He once looked at me coldly. "Your parents sent you here to please me, but I don't see you have a little bit of sincerity." But he did not know that it was Ella who should have married him. That year he returned to the capital with 5 heads hanging from his saddle, the same 5 families that had falsely accused his family that year. The Sterlings were one of them. To appease their anger, they offered jewels and beauties. Ella was one of those beauties. She was afraid to die, so her parents asked me, Calamity, to marry her instead. The astrologer said that one of the twins would destroy the family, and I, who didn't cry when I was born, became Calamity incarnate. My mother forced me to die so that I could survive, and I was imprisoned in a pear house for 17 years. Nurse Eliza named me Layla after the pear blossoms in the garden. Layla, which means leave. The prophecy was true. When the water in the bath was heavy, Ella's hand had just touched the back of Caspar's neck when he suddenly turned and clasped her wrist. The 7th day. His voice was soft, like he was talking about the color of the moon tonight. The kind of poison she's been hit with has an incubation period of exactly 7 days. Isla's face plummeted white. Caspar removed an object from the inner layer of his battle armor. It was the pearly silver bracelet I always wore on my left wrist, with a very small line engraved on the inside. If I don't wake up in 7 days, kill all of Sterling's family. You think I don't recognize my wife? He laughed, but the bottom of his eyes were knotted with the northern wind and snow. I left the house in these 2 months because I found the secret magician who can make her return to her soul. The wind suddenly gusted outside the window, and the candle flame was extinguished. In the darkness, I felt a powerful suction, coming right from the direction of the chamber where my gradually freezing corpse was. At the last instant, I saw Caspar whisper into the air, "Lyra, it's time to come back. Come back and see for yourself how they will bury you."